嗰段片入邊咧有個好重要觀點咧，基本上所有人都忽略咗啊，就話其實1945年之前嘅美國咧，就係相當於 Donald Trump 口中嘅美國嚟嘅。45年之前咧，成個美國都係保護主義嘅。美國唔係依家個咩擁抱自由貿易嘅國家嘅，因為佢嗰陣時仲未係世界警察呢一位啊嘛，即係相對你嗰陣中國咁。
佢咪有咁勁？
但係中國咧就遮遮掩掩係嘛，佢就話我哋自己都係符合 WTO 嘅，但美國佬就明目張膽，我就係需要關稅又點啊？我就係要做保護主義，就保護本土美國。係啊，美國佬就好直嘅。你認真睇嗰條片入邊，佢引用咗10幾個美國各任總統對於保護主義嘅講法嘅。即係你睇下美國其實無論係咪 Donald Trump 或者佢落咗台之後咧，因為佢個貿易數字就得咁多，咁而佢又有自己個財政赤字嘅問題係嘛，佢就冇可能繼續行以前嗰條老路，佢就係慢慢就翻去45年之前嘅美國，即係我講長遠嚟講未來30年40年，但係中國咧就真係一定要做翻以前美國佬個位，如果你繼續做緊英國佬做緊嘢咧，就所有嘢都行唔通嘅。而且佢就叫其中另外一個觀點就話，如果美國翻45年之前嘅美國，即係話美國唔再出口財政赤字嚟為世界提供美金啊嘛，咁呢個世界上就變咗慢慢就冇美金噶啦。咁依家我哋現今啊處於呢個世界仲係大多數貿易都美金結算噶嘛，無論你係講
咁，既然啲美金都唔喺美國國內去使用，佢點解唔印多啲出嚟咧？
美國佬佢有自己套制度啊嘛，中央銀行想印錢就唔係真係開個印鈔機印出嚟啊嘛，就係話你一定要財政部同中央銀行申請，跟住咧就國會通過預算，你明唔明啊？有成套制度喺度啊！
即係其實你印銀紙係因為美國政府需要呢筆錢，咁所以美國政府係啊就要孭咗呢壇數，係啊，所以跟住咧美國政府想找清呢壇數咧，就要靠稅去搞掂嘅，或者因為稅係順差咯，你賺翻啲美金點解可以咧？Donald Trump咪賺咗2500億翻嚟依家。佢一爭唔知14萬億㗎嘛。其實仲有一種方法，唔係，其實仲有一種方法就係 Donald Trump 冇去做嘅，就係學新加坡。你老味我國家開公司，好似阿爺咁樣，我國家直接開公司。唔係呢啲美國冇可能行得通嘅，美國係特別嘅共和黨更加冇可能。佢個小政府大市場嘅地方嚟啊嘛，國家行為呢啲美國佬唔會做嘅。你一諗下，我頭先話2500億，你出訪中國4次就可以賺1萬億，美國嘅國債係14萬億啊嘛，即係出訪50幾次咯，56次，每個禮拜嚟一次，一年都未還清楚條數。其實如果你咁講嘅話，其實最關鍵嘅原因就係因為美國經濟活動咧，又或者應該咁講，就係話咧，其他國家咧依家咧用美金用得太緊要啦，即係因為生產力上嚟啦嘛。就係咁，係啊，賣嘢俾美國佬，跟住美國佬咧，其實係話係你一照買係咩？以前大佬我有錢係咪？啊，以前係咁。依家嘅問題就係話發現，即係因為依家嘅前提就係話美國嘅 GDP 可能等於你 M 個國家相加嘅 GDP。係啊。咁依家問題就做唔到啦，係嘛？而且尤其依家有一個好閪勁嘅國家係咪先？即係發現美國佬啊，屌你老母，美國佬呢壇水好穩喎，係咪先？啱好你入多力量大，就係咁。相類似情況，日本已經發生過，而日本仔做嘢就同中國做嘢有啲類似嘅，就你頭先講啲嘢。日本仔就係屬於啲即係可能都東方人啦嚇，美國佬係買咩咧？佢買 consumer good 啊嘛，買底褲同避孕套啊嘛。日本真係買嚟資產啊嘛。中國咪想做一樣都買人嚟資產，買咩戰略性嗰啲閪嘢啊嘛。個日本仔咪俾美國佬搞咗鑊咯，屌你冇冚家產買資產啊嘛，仆街！但問題個根本性問題係因為美國經濟體佔全球 GDP 喺度下降緊，你呢個大佬做唔落去，因為你冇咁閪多錢嚟派俾下邊啲僆，啲僆越嚟越大食咯，點？以前啲僆個個都係窮鬼嚟嘅，以前啲僆就最多唔好似越南仔咁大嘅胃口。但係你諗下，依家有條僆明住講話，其實我哋兩個唔同嘅碼頭啊，但係其實你可以閂埋道門，大哥咁呢個閂埋道門叫大哥嘅呢隻契仔咧，GDP 已經好閪勁啊，所以就好閪大食。咁美國佬就發覺真係唔係鳩路啊！因為你諗下，你中國人開齊晒啲架撐係嘛，向美國去賣嘢，唔好話向美國賣嘢啦。喂，有幾多個市場可以消化到中國嘅生產力啊？我唔知中國依家自己消唔消化到自己嘅產能、啲消費品啦，應該都得嘅，我估係嘛？每年都有雙十一。你講緊呢個內部消費同埋外部嘅貿易啊嘛，其實美國佬同世界關係咧就係外部貿易，而中國嘅內部消費咧就類似歐盟自己嘅內部消費咁嘅，即係你英國佬咪生產 Burberry， 意大利佬咪生產法拉利啦，係嘛？德國佬咪生產寶馬、Benz 啊，瑞士咪生產手錶咯，咁啊自己入邊歐洲咪自己慢慢貿易飽佢咯，歐洲就搞呢手嘢啊嘛，佢大多數貿易都係對內啊嘛，歐盟自己內部啊嘛。
但就算係歐盟咁樣啊，咁均衡嘅貿易，英國佬都脫歐啦，個個都話要脫歐，因為你有少少地方俾人揾咗笨柒。點解咧？因為你有地方俾人揾笨柒嘅話，你就覺得係蝕底咗，就係我頭先講話一戰之前發生嘅事啊嘛。你覺得俾人揾笨柒啊嘛，你咪關起門咯。咁依家你唔使傾啦，湖南、貴州、廣西、安徽、河南係嘛，甘肅、東三省、河北，仲有咩地方啊？西藏、山西地方，明擺住俾廣東佬同埋浙江佬同埋江蘇佬揾笨柒嘅喎。
If we're looking at history again, the interesting thing is the US was firmly protectionist, and I mean really firmly protectionist, all the way until after World War II. Here I've got a list of different US presidents. I don't know if you can see them, hopefully you can. But here's some fantastic quotes that they've all come up with over the years. I'm just going to run through them all. I'm not going to read them out. But just take your time and absorb them. My personal highlights are Abraham Lincoln, give us a protective tariff and we'll be the greatest nation on earth. Or, thank God, I'm not a free trader. Very Trumpian, all of them. So you can see, actually, the US was very, very much in the camp that I'm describing here now of trying to protect trade, trying to export as much as possible and import as little as possible to become the world-dominating economy that it is today. It's exactly the same technique, of course, that many Asian countries have used, and I'll come back to that in a moment. Now, that only changed after World War II when there were no competitors, when there was only really the US, and at that point, everything changed and we entered the world that we understand today, but that I would argue is actually starting to come to an end. Now, the world was different after World War II, economically and politically, because we shifted to a world in which the US dollar was key. The commodities that you all sell are priced in US dollars. Global trade is carried out in US dollars. Internationally, everyone thinks primarily in US dollars. Now, how did we get to that stage? We got to that stage because everyone could get US dollars by selling to the US. If you wanted to get dollars, it was easy. You just sold something to the US, which was now open for the first time. Trade was no longer a zero-sum game, as it used to be in the past when we had to try and get gold off of other people or silver. You could get dollars very, very easily. Very important point. The problem is, Donald Trump is now showing us that the US appears to be moving back to the pre-World War II pattern of thinking about trade. Now, Trump's only one man, but I put it to you, unpopular as he may be in many circles, is there really a constituency in the US that in an election coming up soon could say, let's go back to completely free trade? Let's ignore everything that Trump's just said. Clearly, it's wonderful if we keep importing more and more and more from other people and don't export to them. I would argue no. I don't see that's a realistic political position within the US at the moment. And if we look at the size of the US trade deficit on the left there, and the two countries that are primarily driving it, which is China in blue and Mexico in orange, you can see why Trump is bashing those two countries in particular. Because there's nothing wrong with a trade deficit if you're importing capital goods. If you're an emerging market importing capital goods to invest because you're short of them, that's basically like investing in your own education for the future. It's going to pay off. If you're importing consumer goods, every dollar you spend is a dollar you could be spending at home. Now, it may sound controversial, but in certain circumstances, Trump is correct, or his advisors are correct. Trade deficits can reduce employment, and they can reduce income. And even if he's saying it in a very angry, inarticulate way, there is some logic to what Trump is saying. And I don't think politically it's going to be very easy for people to push back against that. So really, when will we see this big shift towards protectionism in the US? Because it hasn't happened yet. We've only had rhetoric. I don't think it's an if. Let's look at what the guys around Trump and Trump himself are saying. We've had Wilbur Ross, the Commerce Secretary, saying there's trade, there's sensible trade, and there's dumb trade. And we're going to stop doing dumb trade. I would say they think dumb trade is that, frankly, they just keep buying and don't sell very much. And Trump himself is a businessman. Let's not forget that. And businessmen think, very logically, if you buy more than you sell, you go bankrupt. No business can operate on that basis. Clearly, he thinks the US should operate like a business. It should be selling more than it buys. Or at least its trade should be balanced. And of course, his advisors say the same thing. His policy advisor, Steve Bannon, has openly called himself an economic nationalist. Openly. In several interviews. Peter Navarro, who's guiding Trump on trade, has written a book called Death by China. If you Google it, you can watch it as a movie on YouTube. It's actually surprisingly good viewing. And his US trade representative nominee, Lichthizer, wrote a very, very comprehensive paper back in 2010 that argues the US should unilaterally derogate China's WTO membership because it cheats on the WTO terms so much. Unilaterally, they should just say, China, we don't consider you're in the WTO. So these are the guys round him, and yet we still have people saying Trump doesn't mean it. I find that very unlikely. Trump's also saying, I want to leverage the vast US market to do bilateral trade deals. Yep, we'll buy from you if you buy from us in equal amounts. That is exactly what China does. So we're going to see a shift where the US starts doing China-style trade. And that does represent an absolute leap forward or backwards, depending on how you look at it, in our entire global paradigm. Because here's the risk board beautifully laid out for us. And if the US does step back like those arrows just did, everything starts to change for all of us globally over time. Everything now is looking happy for Australia, I agree, right now. But what happens if, at some point in the near future, you have to choose between a Western framework and being a member of One Belt, One Road, one way or another? Because on one hand, you've got a third of your exports, you've got a flood of students, and of course you've got the housing market, which is oh so important, being propped up by a constant flow of Chinese money coming in. And on the other hand, you've got cultural links, a few exports, and you've got defence. You've got a US defence umbrella, which obviously is a bit of a controversial thing to throw in at the end of an agricultural conference, but, you know, let's be realists here. Because at the moment, really, I'm talking about games. There is a giant game being played out, and it's above all of our heads, and it's poker. Very high-stakes poker between the US and China. And previously, it was the Obama regime, and, you know, many people would argue that Obama lost his shirt. Trump certainly thinks that's true. But at the moment, the joker in the pack, for all of us, is Trump. So let's wait and see what tweet comes through and when, determining what this global framework is going to look like and how we all operate within it. But pretty simply, just to try and bring it down to basic tax at the end of the day, the rules of global trade for all of us are going to remain, first of all, demand. Do people want to buy your product? And the answer is yes. Everybody loves what you guys grow, which is fantastic. Then you've got logistics or supply. Can you get to them in a condition where they want to eat it? Different topic that I'm sure you'll be talking about over the next couple of days. But what I'm flagging here is the dirty word that most economists don't want to talk about, politics. Are people going to be allowed to eat it at all? And I do think they will be in Australia's case, but I do think there's still a huge amount of volatility locked away into our current paradigm, which is going to erupt at some point. One tweet will come through and all hell will break loose in the markets. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.